Hello, Internet. Mike Byrne here from MMOBomb.com, bringing you another first look video. This time it's for Lab Rags, the free-to-play puzzle game brought to you by Salt Mine Studios. Now, this is available on Steam, but it fits in that single-player, pretty short, no microtransactions, none of that vein. So if you're looking for something to maybe kill an hour or two or have a little bit of fun on a stream or whatever, this might be worth checking out for you, much in the same way as To Hell With It was a few months ago, a single-player experience. This falls a little bit more in the line of that Portal-type puzzler game where you're trying to get from point A to point B. Now, the snazzy take with this one is your crash test dummy-esque body will repeatedly get killed, and then be able to be used as you can see here, a platform, basically, or a means to jump higher, or get over spikes, or around different obstacles. Now, initially, you kind of just have to rely on dying to get through the puzzles. But as you progress, you'll actually be able to gather up these bodies of yours with your little gun here, your little suck the bodies in, shoot them out in different ways gun, to help you solve these different puzzles, whether that be straight from throwing a body out like that instead of having to die and then jumping on it as a platform, or as you progress later, you'll be able to throw these crash test dummy bodies out in different formations, whether they be a cube or a sphere. Right now, we just kind of have the ragdoll approach, so we can shoot bodies as a ragdoll and then jump on them or throw them at buttons like you see here, or any other combination of get your way through the physics-based puzzle. Now, later in the game, it does become a little more complex, but it's not all that long a game. There's 4 levels, maybe an hour, right? Maybe it's going to take you an hour to get through them, if that, depending on how well you pick up the kind of janky physics here and there. You don't always land exactly where you would think your character is going to land. You can slide off of edges. It's not the most optimized game in the world. And yeah, it's short. One thing I will caution you on, if you are prone to motion sickness, that suboptimal performance or optimization of the game might be a factor for you, in that there really is no way to cancel some of the blurring effects. So just be warned if you suffer from any type of motion sickness while playing games, particularly in first-person view modes. This game might do that to you a little bit, so a word of caution there. In addition to being able to just jump on your dead bodies or shoot them out in these various forms, you also can pick up dead bodies and drag them. So the game kind of builds on this. You don't have to worry about managing the number of bodies you have. You can have 5 in your gun at any single time. That's what's hidden behind the MMOBomb logo there. But at a simple respawn point, you could literally just nuke yourself 5 times right here and increase and get back to 5. So you don't really have to manage the bodies, and if you need to in a pinch, and some puzzles it's kind of required, where you just take a body that is on the floor, pick it up with E, and walk around with it, tap E again to drop it in place in front of you. Now, these elevators are kind of your segmenting in between each of the 4 levels as you're working through these progressively harder and harder challenges. Later in the game, some puzzles do actually require you to combine multiple methods, so the game does build on itself the way you would expect a puzzler game in this vein to do. But that said, there really needs to be more levels. Like, I'm hoping that they will add more levels to this. It's kind of already picking up a little bit of a following in a speedrunning capacity, actually. Since it is so short, there are speed runs that are being posted in the Steam discussions and things like that. So it is a bit of fun if you're into that type of thing. But the optimization creeps back into it there, too, because there are glitches that can be taken advantage of, certain walls, certain bounce pads later in the game, things like that that can make a speed run, you know, a little faster than it probably would be under normal circumstances. Once you've actually finished the game, though, you do open up a new game plus, which allows you to go through. It's still the same 4 puzzles, but you start right off the beginning with all 4 of the different body modes that you can toss out of your gun here. So the sphere is the one you pick up last in the game, but in New Game Plus, you can run back and do all 4 puzzles, already having the sphere as an option for you to shoot out of your gun. And that's kind of one of the things, too. Yes, there is 4 options for the different body formations you shoot out of your gun here, but you're really going to find yourself using 1 or 2. Once you get all 4, there's not an absolute need, and that's something I would have liked to have seen, and maybe we will with some future development. I would have liked to have seen an absolute need to have to use these different body types to get to different things or to achieve certain objectives. But really, you're going to end up using the same 1 or 2 just because they provide the most utility. The sphere doesn't really differ from the cube in any meaningful way as far as giving you height advantage for a jump, let's say, except it does allow you to stand on the sphere and roll over spikes where the cube just becomes a platform. So towards the end of the game, and even on a New Game Plus rerun, there's really no reason to use the cube anymore when the sphere does the same thing and has the added benefit of automatically rolling across spikes while you walk across the top of it. But it is fun to experiment with some of this stuff. The physics, like I said, are a little wonky, but it does make me want to see a little more from Salt Mine Studios in the future as far as maybe additional puzzles, whether they be, you know, a couple bucks here and there for a pack of puzzles or something like this. It really is made by a developer that this is their only title. I'm not sure if it was a tech demo or something they were kind of just messing around with, but it is out in the world. It is free. It is single player. It's a bit of fun, even though it's not going to last you all that long. So if you want to check it out, head on over to MMOBomb.com right now. Check out the game page where you can find out exactly what's going on and leave your review for the game on the review page. One additional feature of New Game Plus is you get to take all of those tools that you've earned back in to try and finish off the achievements. Now, in my initial playthrough, there's some 13 Steam achievements for the game, and I got 8 of them just on the initial playthrough. 1 or 2 of them were because I did some goofy things and happened to pop an achievement, but most of them you'll get through gameplay. There are some additional achievements, though, for you trophy hunters, you achievement hunters out there, that are going to require you to really, really think about these puzzles in an entirely different way, including getting yourself through at least one entire level without leaving any bodies behind. That, surprisingly, even on level 1 in New Game Plus, does require a little bit more thought than you would think as far as being able to manage how many shots you have in your gun, because if you have 5, you cannot suck up a dead body that you might accidentally slip and hit on the spike. So it creates a little bit of replayability there. So there's also an achievement to actually beat every level without jumping, and also beat every level without shooting. That's right-clicking on your mouse to throw a body out of your gun. Now, apparently people do have both of these, less than 2% on both of those achievements. But some of those, I think, would require an insane amount of thought. So if you are one of those achievement hunters, there's definitely some interesting achievements to try and get here while you pick up, 10 or 11 or so that aren't going to be too impossible or too challenging to get. I mean, beating a level without leaving any bodies behind. Yeah, I started doing it here while I was playing around doing the final footage for the first look. And mismanaged my dead body count when I slipped off of a platform, and now all of a sudden I can't suck up that body. So there is some fun to be had here on the first playthrough. New Game Plus provides some additional fun, and then the achievements. And if you're into speed running, you got that going for you too. Until next time, gang, this is Mike Byrne from MMOBomb.com saying stay safe, and we'll see you out on the servers.